Hey, it's Regina here at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut. And let's jump right into the month of September because there's a lot going on. So, relatively speaking, compared to July and August, September should feel a little bit lighter, but that's relatively speaking. Like July and August were really intense, and not to mention that here in New England, it felt like it rained all summer. But we have a lot of planets that we have a lot of retrogrades in general, right? Now, thank goodness the Mercury retrograde ended. We spent our whole month of August with Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet that rules roadways and pathways and neural pathways and actual roads, delivery, okay, delivery of information, deliveries of products, all those kind of things. We've gone through the whole month of August with it in retrograde. So now it's finally direct. We're still considered to be in the shadow period. But I give personally, when it goes direct, I start purchasing items again and start moving forward. But keeping in mind that everything that was happening since the end of July, Mercury was going back over that. So Mercury was moving along. It gets to August 5th and it starts to move backwards. It goes back in time, back into July, then it goes direct, which it just did on August 28th, and then it goes back over that time period again. So we're in that last swoop back, and then it will move forward. Okay. So pay attention to what's happening because you're kind of getting the third swoop over these issues, these themes that have been going on. Okay. So you're going to have a lot more clarity now. You're going to be able to see it without the trickster energy that Mercury can sometimes present to us. Okay, so we'll have more clarity. Now we start off the month, we go right into a new moon. Before that, on the first, Uranus, the planet of wow, anything can happen, goes retrograde. So we'll have Uranus retrograde, Pluto retrograde, and Neptune retrograde. Okay. Now, the outer planets tend to go retrograde a lot of months of the year, but so we kind of just have to deal with that always. But we pay a little bit more attention when the personal planets go retrograde, like Mercury, Venus, Mars, because those are closer to us and are said to affect us more. Okay, so things are going to major lighten up with Mercury retrograde ending. Now, the other huge phenomenon that's going on is that Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, death and rebirth, power, sex, other people's money, and combined monies, is kind of teetering there, right? It's been teetering for many, many months now between the signs of Aquarius and Capricorn, okay? Kind of going back and forth. Now, this is its last dip back into Capricorn. This starts on September 1st and it goes till November 16th. This is the last dip of back into Capricorn for Pluto for the rest of our lives. Takes 200 and something years to go around. That's why the United States of America is said to be having a Pluto return right now. Okay, really interesting stuff as we move into an election year, right? We're getting closer and closer in this election year. So these are intense times, but like I said, things are a little bit lighter. Things can run a little bit more smoothly this month. So let's focus on that being the case, okay? So we start off the month with that new moon. It's an 11-degree Virgo new moon. That means the sun and the moon will both be together at 11 degrees. So you want to see where 11 degrees of Virgo is in your chart because that's where there's going to be emphasis, okay? The planets, there's always activity in all the houses, okay? A lot of people say to me a lot, why is that house empty? Why is there nothing going on there? Because there's no emphasis there. There's always energy because there's always a ruling sign in each of your astrology houses, right? But the planets are kind of like the little pointers, like, hey, look here, there's really something to learn there. So 11-degree Virgo new moon. Opposite, it's going to be opposite Saturn at 16 degrees Pisces. Okay, they're close enough to be considered in opposition. So in opposition, one party wants one thing, the other party wants something else. Now, Virgo, we're in Virgo season. So we have the sun, the moon in Virgo. Mercury's coming back to Virgo. And so we have this energy of things related to Virgo. Virgo rules compartments, apartments, systems of order. It's ruled by Mercury, which is interesting. We had on the new year, on 2024, in the new year, the moon was in the sign of Virgo. Okay, so there's a lot of Virgo themes this year, a lot of Mercury themes, and Mercury was retrograde when we started the year, New Year's Eve. So more Mercury energy. Okay, so we're going to start to see the details more. We're going to be able to see a little bit more clearly. Then we've got Saturn opposite us in this new moon, where it's in the sign of Pisces, which is kind of a weird spot for it because Saturn wants to show up and do hard work, and Pisces wants to kick back and reflect on everything and look at the bigger picture. Okay, so I kept wanting to say the devil's in the details. That just keeps coming to mind. I don't even really know that expression, but I guess the hardship is in the details. Virgo is all the details. Okay, so we want to be really looking at that, looking at our paperwork, looking at getting our things organized so we can feel good. Okay, because there's going to be enough intensity as we move forward this year with this election and with all this Pluto activity. Okay, so get your stuff in order. The chart is kind of like a big seesaw. So it's not going to be balanced. It's going to be one extreme or the other extreme. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, this new moon is going to be trine Chiron, transiting Chiron. Chiron is said to be the wounded healer. Okay. So this is a great time to use your words for healing. This is a great time to jump into a therapy session or have a reading, get to know yourself more. Use words to create a healing situation. That's for Monday, the 2nd of September. And of course, these things last a little bit longer than just that day. Now, on the 3rd, well, I guess I'm kind of going week by week, but let's just kind of talk about the overview first. So we're talking about Pluto, and I have to say that I think majority of my clients that come to me right now are either number one, Aquarius, Capricorns, and then I find a lot of Scorpios. Okay, I think I find a lot of Scorpios in general come for tarot readings, but the Aquariuses don't understand what the heck's going on. The Capricorns seem to feel a little frustrated. Okay. And this is all because of Pluto. So Pluto rules, it's one of the ruling planets of the sign Scorpio, right? Scorpio was originally ruled by Mars, the planet of action. And then later when Pluto was discovered, it was assigned to Scorpio. Okay. It was very fitting for Scorpio. So Scorpios are feeling a change because one of their ruling planets is going through a really big change. So that's going to affect you. Now, Scorpio, you have a tendency to kind of keep things, I don't know, I kind of think of the fetal position a lot when I think of Scorpio. I think about like kind of going into a dark room and rolling up into the fetal position and like soothing yourself. That seems like Scorpio to me. Okay, that's the vision that I'm getting. I'm also a lot of Scorpio, and that's what I do a lot. So, Scorpio, you are going to feel intense changes with this ruling planet, kind of bouncing back into Capricorn on September 1st, and Capricorn. Okay, yeah. So then it's kind of been teetering into Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a fixed sign. Scorpio is a fixed sign. Okay, so there can be some right? So you might feel a little lighter, Scorpio, because Capricorn goes back, Pluto goes back into Capricorn. You don't have that square going on, okay? So you might feel a little smoother September, October, November, but there's still huge change going on for you, okay? Because once Pluto finishes up its time in Capricorn, November 16th, it's going to move into Aquarius for 20 years. So we hope and pray that this brings our planet humanitarian change, a global outlook, a bigger picture, not just us, but all of us. Okay, it's time. So let's envision that happening. Now, Scorpio, this is going to square you for 20 years. It just is. It's going to square you. And a square is an opportunity, okay? I know squares are not what everybody wants in astrology, but squares give us character. They build character and they give us an opportunity for growth, okay? So you are definitely going to grow, Scorpio, all right? And it's going to be intense. It can also be really sexy. It can also be a really great time financially for you if you pay attention to where the change is that needs to come in. Okay. So, big theme for September is Pluto moving back into Capricorn. Okay. So, all you Capricorns out there, you're going to get a final sweep of what needs to change. Okay. It's not going to be a guessing game. As I've said many times, you're going to see it and you're going to have to decide. Let me take that back. You may not see it, but you're going to feel it. Okay. So make the necessary changes. Sometimes it's not the changes that you want to be necessary, but pay attention to what life is showing you. Okay. So what else do we have? You know, I've been listening to a lot of astrology YouTube, and Rick Levine, who's a famous astrologer, he is talking a lot about a semi-square. There's this half square, semi-square. And I am still learning a lot about astrology, and I call myself an intuitive astrologer, not so much of a mathematical one. But these semi-squares that are going on, there's between Saturn and Pluto, and Saturn is all about boundaries and Pluto wants to break everything down. So there's going to be some powerful energy going on this month. We're also going to have a grand trine later in the month. So there's just a lot of intensity and a lot of earth energy. And sometimes it's hard to move earth energy, but the rest of the year is going to help us along with that. Okay. I think we're going to get a lot of clarity by the end of the year. Okay. Definitely by after our presidential election here in the US. Okay. So we've got Pluto kind of teetering, but also we're so busy thinking about Pluto teetering back and forth Capricorn Aquarius that we forget that Neptune's been hanging out at 29 degrees Pisces for a while. Okay. It's getting ready to move into Aries, but it's going to retrograde back a little bit more into Pisces. Okay. So there is Neptune, the great healer, a lot of creative energy, very karmic energy. Okay. And so in the sign of Pisces, its own sign. So we're dealing with some old stuff here. And I've been talking so much about how science says that we can inherit trauma now. I think that's really interesting. Gives me a new outlook on karma. And so we're here and we are going to be able to really see what's going on, what behaviors are going on. Pisces rules drugs and alcohol and anything that takes us away from society. So we're going to be asked to look at those kind of things. And then this is a great time to make art. This is a great time to dig deep into those emotions and a great time to really heal. There's a lot of healing energy. Okay. So is there anything else that I want to talk to you about September? Like I said, it's going to be intense. Mars is going to move into Cancer this month, and that's considered its fall position. So it's not like the easiest position for Mars, but there's going to be a lot of energy about how to take care of our lives, our home, our family. And it's almost like Mars has to slow down a little bit in Cancer. Okay. Mars is like a bull in a china shop, and Cancer is the china shop. Okay. So, slow down and take a look. Slow down and take the action needed in our homes, in our family, in our lives to make things better. Okay. Now, things are going to get really, really intense towards the end of the month because we're going to have the eclipse happening with the full moon, going into eclipse season. My little bit of knowledge about eclipses is they're connected. So there's a lot of work, a lot of breakdown that's been going on for many, many months now, and getting ready to really move into this age of Aquarius, to move into these humanitarian times. Okay. Now, the end of the month, when we get to about the 24th, 25th, 26th, there's a lot of energy built up. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're not getting into fights or getting into arguments because there's just too much compressed energy. Okay. So we're going to want to take it a little slower, concentrate on our healing. It doesn't mean that we can push our healing onto other people. Not everyone is ready. Okay. The eclipse is going to help us release something. And there's kind of like this like reality check that comes in with this eclipse, and some things about fantasy and illusion and dreams. And there's going to be awareness of what hurts. And there's going to be a lot of karmic cleanup is really what I get, which isn't easy, but sure feels good when it's done. Okay, so let's jump into the month ahead, week by week, really break down daily what is advised for you. You're welcome to skip ahead, skip around. I will break this video down into segments later and repost it, so you don't have to take everything in at once. Okay, we're starting off with the week of 9/2 through 9/8, and that's where we left off. And it is the Virgo new moon at 9:56 p.m. And we talked about how Chiron is being trined in this, and how this is a really great time for healing. This is a really great time to really get clear on what it is we want. I'm always talking about placing your order during a new moon. Okay, so 11-degree Virgo new moon opposite Saturn at 16 degrees Pisces. This will be square Jupiter. It's the big seesaw, and it's trying Chiron. Okay, so don't expect things to be balanced. No, it's going to be one extreme or the other. To me, Virgo and Pisces are so opposite. Like, obviously all signs that are opposite, but like Virgo and Pisces just stand out to me as being so opposite. Virgo is like getting up in the morning, making your bed, getting your dishes in the dishwasher, dealing with all of your daily routines. Okay. And Pisces is the total opposite. It is the kind of the dreamy, creative, non-ego, kind of checked out energy, but like in a high spiritual octave way. Okay. So that is Labor Day on the 2nd. As we move into the 3rd, the moon will be opposite Neptune, the great healer. The 3rd is a really great day for therapy and art therapy. Okay. So find an old project. Virgo loves completion of things. Virgo loves to complete something and analyze it and, run the data on it and all that kind of stuff. So get out an old art project. It's good therapy. Complete it. Wednesday the 4th, we have a lot of Venus energy. So really enjoy the beauty. The moon's going to be opposite Neptune, so it's going to make things cloudy. So don't make any major decisions, but enjoy the beauty of it. Okay. Mars moves to Cancer, and on Thursday the 5th, it's just another really beautiful day. There's some nice trines. You want to take advantage of these days when they're here. So mark your calendar for Thursday the 5th and enjoy it. On the 6th, we have the moon making a beautiful trine with Mars and Jupiter, but it's squaring Pluto. Okay. And this can give us aspects of trying to control things. Okay. The moon and Pluto. And I think I have that in my chart. So I'm an expert on that. We want to control things. We only have so much control. Okay. So our solution is in the surrendering to the divine. And sometimes just repeating that to yourself. I surrender to the divine. is enough to make your shoulders relax, okay? We can't control everything on Friday the 6th. Surrender to the divine abundance. We move into a Scorpio weekend on the 7th and 8th. Now, the 7th is a beautiful, smooth day. We have lots of trines. And I wrote myself a note. Can I read it? Talking about Scorpio's ruling planet changing signs, which we did talk about. So this is a Scorpio weekend, and Scorpio's going through a lot of change, which with its ruling planet having just moved back into Capricorn. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting weekend for you. May affect your love life. Okay, it may themes of commitment may come up. It's Capricorn, and Pluto being back in Capricorn. And so enjoy it, see what comes up. On Sunday, watch your words or drama can get big. Okay. The moon is square Mercury, and Mercury's at 29 degrees Leo, coming back out of its retrograde, heading back to Virgo. And Leo, I'm sorry, I love you, Leo, but you are known for the theatrical performance, okay? So watch out for drama. Be careful on Sunday. Really put all your plans onto Saturday. Make Sunday a day that you can do your own thing more and maybe get some projects done. There's a trine with Saturn, okay? So enjoy the beautiful week of 9/2 through 9/8 as we move into the week of 9/9 through 9/15. Now, we are on Monday the 9th, still going to have the moon in Scorpio until right after lunch, okay? Now, you might think that you have it all figured out, but don't speak yet. Be careful on Monday the 9th because the moon is still square Mercury, the planet of communication. And sometimes with Scorpio energy, like Scorpio, we feel deeply. And so let's just not get into it over deep stuff. Keep things lighter, okay? Mercury also moves into the sign of Virgo, moving back into Virgo after its retrograde. And it rules the sign Virgo, okay? So it does really well there. And it is the great analyzer, okay? So this is a good time for you to be analyzing your numbers, analyzing things that are worth analyzing, not just like analyzing why our bodies look the way they look or what our age is, those kind of things. Like, don't beat yourself up. Be careful with the conversation with yourself. But this is a great time to get down to business with numbers and those kind of things, okay? Now, Tuesday the 10th, don't push it with others. Go your own way. Just do your own thing. The moon's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes the freedom to move, and it probably doesn't want to deal with the square with Mercury and Saturn, okay? Now, Wednesday the 11th, when the Mercury retrograde cycle completes itself. So back in August 5th, when Mercury started to move backwards, retrograding, and it moved back. Let's see. Yeah. And then it went direct and moved forward. So basically, Wednesday, the 11th, is the same degree of what was going on at the end of July 29th. Okay. So what have you learned? Because you've gotten to see three sides of it now. What have you learned? What is correct? Thursday, the 12th, the sun is going to be square Jupiter. So we got to watch out for our ego. Okay, we got to make sure that we just don't think we're right all the time. Okay, and the moon will be square Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion. Okay, so it's too easy with the sun square Jupiter to get lost in optimism. We can get overly optimistic and we can get overly confident. Okay, so watch your ego, double check things, and things might be a little foggy. So don't be too full of yourself. Okay. Friday the 13th. Yes, it is a Friday the 13th. And honestly, when I do research, I can't find anything that makes that anything valid. But we still feel it here in the US, don't we? So Friday the 13th, the moon will be in Capricorn, and it will be square Venus and Chiron. Okay. Now, things will lighten up a little bit because this week a couple squares end. The one with Mercury and Uranus ends, and the square between Mars and Neptune ends. So that's a little bit of a relief. But this moon is square Venus, and Venus rules relationships, especially relationships with women. And it's square Chiron, a soul's wound point. So watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, okay? Good time to buy flowers. Good time to show up with flowers to the women in your life. And otherwise, I would work late and do your own thing and maybe avoid some relationships that day because things are going to get intense. Now we move into an Aquarius weekend. The moon will move into Aquarius in the middle of the night on Saturday, 3:53 a.m. This is Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And so Aquarius are feeling pretty good with Pluto moved back into Capricorn. All the Aquarians out there are getting a little sigh of relief, but it's not for long. Okay. So take a breather and get ready because change is coming, Aquarius. Now, the moon in Aquarius this weekend and Saturday, you want to accept help from others. The moon will be making a nice trine with Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius. Aquarius is associated with friends and helpful friends. Sometimes that's strangers. So allow people to help you. Sunday, live free. Make last minute plans, enjoy your people. Aquarius is the most rebellious sign of the zodiac, I think. So move as you feel free over this weekend, but especially on Sunday the 15th. Now remember, we're heading to a full moon. Now full moons are intense in general, but this is a Pisces full moon, okay? And Pisces is foggy and karmic and watery and emotional. So keep that in mind, okay? Because it affects us days in advance. You can put some moon water outside in a jar. I often like to use a mason jar, or you can put it in a window. Place your order. Write down your order. I do that more on the new moon. Full moon, I often just write down things that I'm thankful for and how I'd like to continue my order, okay? You can place that order underneath the jar of water, especially if it's inside, okay? You could drink it. I put the jar out a couple days before and a couple days after, and then I drink it. Now we're moving into the week of 9/16 through 9/22. And this is beautiful because Venus has a trine with Jupiter. It's been going on actually for last week and into this week. We have Saturn still squaring Jupiter. We have the Sun still squaring Jupiter. So whenever Jupiter's involved, things get big. Okay. So there can be big love with Venus squaring Jupiter. There can be big rules and obligations with Saturn square Jupiter. And there can be big egos and big visibility with the Sun square Jupiter. Okay. So we have the full moon on Tuesday. So hold on to your hat on Monday with 3 planets in Pisces. Retreat and reflect. No major decisions, okay? This is a great watery time. So if the weather is nice, it would be great to be near water and to chill out as much as you can. Get a notebook out, write things down, reflect. This is a lunar eclipse that will be with the full Pisces moon at 10:34 p.m. on Tuesday the 17th. Lunar eclipses are said to take something away. So volunteer what you would like to be taken away from you, okay? Offer that up and see if the universe will accept that, okay? Instead of just letting it voluntarily take from you, okay? Now, Wednesday the 18th, don't push your luck. Oh, don't push your luck. Mercury square Jupiter starting that day, lasting in for a few days. The moon will be opposite Venus. No, that's Thursday. Wednesday, the 18th, the moon will be square Mars, the planet of action, written as a symbol for men. Just be careful. It can be men, women things. It can be, you don't want to fight. Don't push your luck. Thursday, the 19th, is when the moon is opposite Venus in the sign of Libra. So take care of yourself and then help others. Okay. Libras have a tendency to help others before they take care of themselves. Make sure that your what's the expression? Your cup is full before you go giving to others. Okay. But make sure you do give to others also, which requires you to give to yourself. Friday the 20th, the moon will be trine Mercury. Yay. And it's a more grounded time to speak, okay? But just keep it short and sweet. You're moving into a Taurus weekend. I love Taurus. I wish I was a Taurus. It rules all the beautiful things of life. So at 5:03 a.m. on Friday the 20th, the moon will move into Taurus, and it will stay there through Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, okay? So Taurus rules all the beautiful things. It's very Mother Earth energy. This is autumn here in New England. This is what Gilmore Girls was all about, right? So enjoy this beautiful time. Saturday is called the UN International Day of Peace, and it has peaceful vibes to me. So make the most of that on Saturday, the 21st. And moving into Sunday, the 22nd, happy fall equinox, the pagan holiday of Mabon. I don't know too much about it, but I'm sure they were celebrating the harvest, okay? The sun enters Libra on Sunday at 8:44 a.m., so we are moving into Libra season. Libra is a cardinal air sign. It pushes forward the season. So anytime that someone's a cardinal sign, remember they have that force behind them, okay? That force of nature. So Venus moves into the watery depths of Scorpio on Sunday the 22nd. And so it's going to get spicy. The sun's going to move into Libra. It's going to be spicy season coming up here. I know Venus in Scorpio isn't its best placement, but to me, Scorpio rules all those deep emotions. And so Venus wants to love. Scorpio wants to love too, but don't hurt a Scorpio, especially a Venus in Scorpio, because they will not forget. Okay. Now, beautiful, beautiful equinox weekend. Enjoy this full moon week of 9/16 through 9/22. Now we move into the week of 9/23 through 9/29. We want to keep it cool this week because it's going to get intense. Okay. Now, Monday, the 23rd, moon will be in Gemini. It'll be square its ruling planet, Mercury. And there's a bunch of squares with Saturn and Neptune. There is a trine with Venus. We'll take it. And Venus is also square Pluto. So lots of squares, challenges, opportunities for growth. Keep it simple and keep it light. Keep conversation light on Monday the 23rd. No deep dives, okay? Tuesday the 24th, stay cool. Put a little cucumber on our week ahead forecast. Cool as a cucumber. There is so much energy built up. Stay practical, but do not be stubborn, especially on Tuesday, the 24th. Now, the 25th, we have the moon in Cancer. Actually, is in there on Tuesday, the 24th also. The moon will be conjunct Mars in Cancer. There's themes about the home. There's themes about taking action in the home, like maybe some redecorating. So let's just be careful about being stubborn, and let's be careful about other people triggering us, okay? It's not worth the fight, and we need to take responsibility for our triggers also. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that for sure. Okay, now Thursday the 26th, less talk, more gentle action. Mars in the sign of Cancer. Cancer's like mom energy. It's nurturing, okay? Mars is that bull in a china shop. So maybe with Mars in Cancer, you can get some construction done, get some projects done around the house. Good time for that. But you can't be too stubborn, especially if you're working with a partner in this, because there's some squares with Venus. Okay. Now, Mercury's going to move into Libra on, Mercury moved fast through Virgo. It's going to move into Libra Thursday Thursday the 26th. Friday the 27th, do your own thing. Okay, there's a square with Venus. The moon's in Leo. Leo wants to think about what they want. Venus, you're going to get into it with others. Just do your own thing. Now, Saturday, the moon will be in Leo. We're going to have a Leo Saturday into pretty much early Sunday morning. So be flexible. Leo's a fixed sign. Be flexible. You might have some fun. It's going to be fun. Venus and Scorpio. Sunday, get yourself organized for success. So the moon will move into Virgo early in the morning. It's going to be opposite Saturn in Pisces, just like when the full moon, right? And so there's going to be this energy of getting everything in order and kind of retreating back, resting. It's like work hard, rest hard, work hard, rest hard, okay? Get yourself organized for success. You're heading to a new Libra moon and solar eclipse in October, okay? So let's envision this month that things are starting to lighten a little. We'll take any kind of lightening after July and August. Mercury is direct. That's going to give us more freedom of movement, freedom of communication, and freedom of purchasing items, really. But we're going to be careful with our words through a lot of the month of September because there's a lot of squares going on with Mercury, okay? We're going to keep in mind that there's going to be like a intensity of energy as we move towards the end of the month. So we're going to be careful and we're going to observe more, especially the 24th, 25th, and 26th. We are going to make sure that we are not being too stubborn. And I would personally, I'm going to keep a low profile those days, okay? There's too much. This isn't a time that I personally want to be out in large groups of people. This isn't personally a time that I want to argue with anyone, okay? Not that it's really a great time to argue with anyone, but this isn't it, okay? Stay cool, stay calm, and allow things to start moving forward. Go with the change that's presenting itself, especially if you're a Capricorn, Aquarius, or Scorpio. Okay. So I forgot to pull your tarot cards for each week. So what I would like to do is pull a couple tarot cards now overall for the month. Okay. And then what we can do is break that down, one for each week also. Okay. So our theme cards for this month. Okay, haven't looked at any of these. Let's see what we get. I'm working with a couple different decks. This first card is from the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. And we've got this Tower card here. Okay, this is Uranus energy. The wow. This is Aquarian energy, okay? And so there is a lot of things breaking down. We know that the world is going through a lot of changes. Our government's having a Pluto return. And so there's a lot of wow factor, okay? It's pay attention, stay alert, and make the changes where needed, okay? This is the Tower coming in to break some things apart. Our second card here from the Cozy Witch Tarot is the Three of Swords. It's okay to cry. Okay, she's coming out of the library. Looks like she took the book about pain out. All right, so there's okay to cry. This is a great month to dig deep, get some things out, your own personal work, clear some karma, okay? And from the Muse Tarot, we have the Queen of Voices or the Queen of Swords. So this is a power position as a queen. She is an air queen. She would traditionally be the Queen of Swords. And I love her haircut. And I love her power, okay? The Queen of Swords is a no-nonsense kind of queen. She doesn't really care what you think about her, and your words aren't going to hurt her. She's the queen of boundaries, and she's the queen of big, big business, okay? So these are your theme cards here. They're all air. The Tower being an Aquarian card, which is an air sign. The Three of Swords, air. And the Queen of Air, okay? So there's a lot of mind energy, but there's a breakdown of things, There's a healing kind of going through using that Chiron energy that's available this month. And then there's a power position with this queen. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull one for each week of the 4 weeks of September that we reviewed. And let's see, haven't looked at any of these yet. And I'm working with these little mini Golden Art Nouveau tarot for the week. So week 1, we have a reversed Hanged Man. Okay. So he looks very enlightened. The card traditionally would come out like this. This is a Pisces card ruled by Neptune. We know that Pisces is retrograding. We know it's been kind of lingering around 29, 28 degrees of Pisces, its own sign. So this is a card of divine delay, although it did come up this way. Okay, so we're going to start to see clearly. We've been held here. This is a card of being like held so that we can clean up some old stuff. Week 2. We have the 7 of Swords. It's kind of sneaking away. It's interesting. He's got like a Joker looking face. He's sneaking off with 5 swords. 5 is a number of change of thought. He's leaving 2 swords behind. 2 swords is often a relationship, indicating a relationship. And so he's sneaking off with something here. Interesting. See what week 4 brings. Week 4 brings the Hierophant, card of stability, a card of like the constants in our life, card of higher education, and a card of connecting higher. See how he's pointing upwards? Okay, so you got a major arcana, major secret of life card with the Hanged Man. Then you got an everyday life card with the 7 of Swords, followed by another major arcana. Let's see what the last week is. This is the Knight of Pentacles here. Now we know we have like a grand Earth trine towards the end of the month. So this is Earth energy gradually making its way to you. Okay, what's of value? The Knight of Pentacles doesn't seem to move as quickly as everybody would like him to, but he's arriving. Okay, so the vibe for this is week 1. Accept the delay and accept that this is a time of healing. Okay. Neptune will be moving out of Pisces very soon and will be in Aries. So take advantage of this healing time. 7 of Swords. You know, he's like tiptoeing, looks like he's sneaky moving, taking something. It almost looks like he's wearing a mask. Kind of reminds me of like narcissistic behavior. We have to watch our egos this month. And there's some things that have to change. This may be some sneaky people around. You're going to get some clarity and you're going to get some cleanup with this. You also need to connect higher, stay grounded. And it's almost like reaching your energy up higher to your higher power. There's 2 indications of 5 there in a row that are change. And then the Knight of Pentacles arriving. So what you've been waiting for is arriving. Okay, this is a great card to see in week 4. So overall, a pretty intense month, but a little bit lighter than what we've been dealing with. Okay, we have to roll with the punches. We have to roll with the change that's being shown to us. We need to take some time to step back and retreat and heal. There's a great opportunity for healing this month. So make the best of it. I'm going to be recording some readings for the month of September, sign by sign, so it can be a little bit more in tune for you. You can listen to your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign if you'd like, okay? And so head over to YouTube and check out the rest of my videos. And thanks so much for joining me. Have a fabulous September. If you have any questions about where 11 degrees of Virgo is in your chart for the new moon, or where that full moon is going to be affecting you, 25 degrees Pisces, feel free to comment below with your birthday, time, and place of birth, and I can give you an idea. I'm going to try to comment on those. Okay, thanks so much, and don't forget to click like and follow me. Thank you. Have a good month.